Multiplying whole numbers. Example 1, 4 times 5. Another way to think about this is we have 4 groups of 5. And so rather than adding up 4 groups of 5, we can just go ahead and multiply. And so another way to think about it is just kind of visually. So if we have 4 groups of 5, as we can see, right, we have 4 across and then 5, right, going down, because this is like, say, a group, right? And so we can see that 4 times 5 is equal to 20, because, right, this is each 5, we just add, if we also added those up, right, we'd also get 2 equals 20, and that would be our solution. So it's just kind of good to think about how, rather than doing it by addition, right, we can also visually see it, but also we can know that 4 times 5 is 20, right? Multiplication is just the faster way to go ahead and doing it. And so there's also just different ways to show multiplication. So rather than, right, we just showed it like 4 times 5, we could have shown it like this, 4 with a dot, 4 times 5. That also means multiplication, right? You're going to multiply 4 times 5. You can also see it like this, or maybe you'll see it like this, right? And so there's different ways to show that we need to multiply the numbers together. Let's go ahead and look at the next example. Example 2. Cynthia is a medical lab technician who has been asked to run a wound analysis on a patient to determine the extent of tetanus. When she first looked at the sample under the microscope, she recorded 12 bacteria. However, when she returned a day later, she counted 13 times as many. What is the total number of bacteria that Cynthia has recorded in the microscope on her second count? So what are we going to be doing? We're going to go ahead and multiply 12 times 13. And so when we have it like this, we're going to go ahead and go like this to show, and we can go ahead and multiply. And so when we begin to multiply, right, we line up our place values. So we have our 1s, we have our 10s, and so we have lined them up, and we begin by multiplying this 3. And we're going to go ahead and multiply the 3 then times the 2. So we're going to start on the 1s, so 3 times 2, and then we'll put it below. That's a 6. Now 3 times 1 is just 3. Something really important is we're going to move on to the 10 spot, but we need to put a place value over there on the 1s. So we've now gone on to the 10, so we have 1. So we have 1 times 2, so that's 2. 1 times 1, that's 1. And then we're done multiplying. And so we actually now add these two together. And so when we add, we go, right, we start with the 1s, so 6 plus 0, 6, 3 plus 2 is 5. Just bring down the 1. So what's our solution? It's 156. So 12 times 13 is 156. So let's go ahead and look at the next example. So example 3, we have 187 times 156. Seven times 6 is 42. 6 times 8 is 48. And we add what's on top, right, the remainder, so that's 52. Carry the 5, right, we only put the 2 below. 6 times 1 is 6, plus this 5, and that's 11. Right, now we do a placeholder. Then we start with the 5. So 5 times 7 is 35. So put a 5 below, carry the 3, I'll just write it over the 4. 5 times 8 is 40, plus this 3, so that's 43. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. Now we have 2 zeros before we get to the 100, right? So then we can start with the 1. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. And now we just go ahead and add these up, right? And so we have 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. 1 plus 3 plus 7 is 11. So we have a 1. Carry the other 1. 1 plus 1 plus 9 is 11. Plus 8 is 19. Put the 9 below. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And so what's our solution? Right, it's 29,172.